Imagine you're 65. You're sitting on a porch. Maybe you're drinking a beer. Or maybe you're just staring at a lawn you can't afford to mow. You look back at your 20-year-old self. That guy was a bit of an idiot, sure. But specifically, you're thinking about the $3 he spent on a mediocre energy drink. Every single morning, you do some quick mental math, which is hard because your brain is now 65% lint, and you realize that those $3, if handled differently, would have been the difference between this dilapidated porch and a literal private island. You aren't just broke because of bad luck. You're broke because you didn't understand a fundamental law of the universe. You didn't understand that time is a multiplier, and you were giving your multiplier away to a beverage company that doesn't even know your name. That's an uncomfortable thought, isn't it? Good. Keep that feeling. We're going to need it. Most people hear the words compound interest, and their brain immediately enters screensaver mode. You start seeing chalkboard equations, Greek letters that look like snakes, and some guy in a sweater vest explaining annual percentage yields until your soul leaves your body. You think it's a math problem. It's not. It's a psychology problem disguised as math. The financial industry wants you to think it's complicated. They want you to believe you need a PhD in finance or a bespoke suit to play the game. Why? Because if it's complicated, you'll pay them to do it for you. You'll give them a small to percent fee, thinking it's only to percent, but here's the subversion. That to percent fee, compounded over 30 years, will eat nearly half of your total wealth. You're being robbed by tiny percentages because you think math is for nerds. Rookie mistake? First, let's trash the generic advice. You've seen the bloggers saying, just save 10% of your income. Okay, cool. If you make $50,000 and save $5,000 a year for 40 years in a shoebox under your bed, you'll have $200,000. Congratulations, in 40 years. $100,000 will buy you exactly one loaf of bread and a used tire. Inflation is the monster under the bed, and simple saving is just feeding the monster slowly. Then there's the day trading crowd. The guys on TikTok with the neon lights and the 4 monitors showing red and green candles. They tell you to beat the market. They want you to find the next meme coin or the hidden gem stock before anyone else. Here's a fact: 95% of professional fund managers, people who do this for 80 hours a week and have supercomputers in their basements, fail to beat the market over the long term. If they can't do it, you, with your cracked iPhone screen and your 9-to-5 job, definitely can't do it. Trying to beat the market is just gambling with extra steps. So, how does it actually work? Let's use a real example. Imagine someone offers you a choice. Option A, I give you $1 million right now, in cash. You can go buy a supercar and a house shaped like a dinosaur today. Option B, I give you a single penny, but I promise that for the next 30 days, that penny will double in value every single morning. If you take the million, you're like most people. You want the dopamine hit now. But if you take the penny, something weird happens. On day 10, you have $5. You're feeling like an idiot. The guy with the million is laughing at you from his dinosaur house. On day 20, you have $5,240, still a rounding error compared to the million. But then, the curve starts to turn vertical. On day 30, that single cent has turned into over $5.3 million. That's compound interest. It's the interest on your interest. It's not a straight line. It's a hockey stick. And the most important part of that hockey stick isn't the interest rate. It's the time at the end. The magic doesn't happen in the beginning. It happens in the last few seconds when the numbers get stupid. Let's look at a situational scenario. Dave and John. Dave is 20 years old. He's disciplined. He invests $200 a month into a boring index fund. He does this for only 10 years, from age 20 to 30. Then he stops. He never puts another cent in. He just lets it sit there for the next 35 years until he's 65. Total invested, $24,000. John is different. John waits until he's 30 to start. He's getting his life together. At 30, he starts investing the same $100 a month. But here's the kicker. John does it for 35 years straight, all the way until he's 65. Total invested, $84,000. Who ends up with more? Dave does, by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even though he invested $60,000 less, his money had an extra 10 years to simmer. That's the superpower. In compound interest, time isn't just a factor, it's the exponent. Being early is more valuable than being rich. But there's a dark side. Compounding works in both directions. If you have credit card debt at 25% interest, you aren't just paying for that pizza you bought in 2019. You are paying interest on the interest of that pizza. You are trapped in a reverse hockey stick where the numbers become stupid against you. Banks don't love you. They love your ignorance of compounding. They are literally harvesting your future time to fund their skyscrapers. Every time you pay the minimum balance, you are essentially signing a contract that says, I agree to be a stick figure extra in your movie forever. Step 1. Stop trying to be a genius. By the market. By the index. Step 2. Start today, not Monday. Not when I get a raise. Today, even if it's $5. Step 3. Forget about it. The hardest part of compounding isn't the math, it's the boredom. You have to watch the grass grow for 20 years before you get the forest. Wealth is just a function of discipline and time. It's easy. Actually, you just have to be willing to be boring for long enough to become wealthy. Anyway, I'm collecting donations in the form of subscribes to fund the next video.